Hey everyone, it's Justin from Adventures Away. Today we're on board the beautiful Odyssey of the Seas, one of the newest ships in the Royal Caribbean fleet. Let's take a look and see what this ship has to offer for you. Originally scheduled to be delivered in 2020, Odyssey of the Seas made its debut in 2021 as the first new delivery ship since the COVID shutdown. Odyssey of the Seas is a Quantum Ultra class ship, which has many similarities to the original Quantum class, just at a slightly bigger, and there's a few more enhanced amenities. Walking on board Odyssey of the Seas, it was very similar to when I was on board Anthem. It is a identical layout to all of the other Quantum class. So if you've been on a Quantum class, it is very easy to figure out where you're going. On Deck 3, you have the main dining room, which is also on Deck 4. One difference on this ship compared to like Anthem is that instead of the 4 separate dining rooms, Odyssey has one big dining room return, which was a plus to many cruisers. A lot of cruisers didn't like the 4 separate dining room because it's just a weird feeling compared to just sitting with everybody, plus the aesthetics of this ship with the main dining room. You can actually see up onto Deck 5 where Giovanni's is up there. Just on the other side of Deck 3, you have the casino, which no cameras are allowed, so there's obviously no footage from in there. Deck 3 forward, which is Deck 3, 4, and 5, you have the Royal Theater. This is where you'll find many of the shows and different activities on board your cruise. The Crown Lounge is one of those where you have to have a certain status to get into. Just like the other Quantum class ships, around Deck 4 is your main thoroughfare through the entire ship. You have Music Hall, which is a 2-story music venue. They'll have different activities in this venue as well throughout the week, including comedy shows, karaoke, also live music, and DJ parties. Deck 4 has the Royal Promenade look from previous ships, where you'll find the pubs, the Sorrento's Pizza, all of the shops, your coffee, as well as Cafe Promenade. Sorrento's obviously was the favorite for my entire family. The Old English Style Pub is a really cool venue as well. There's usually a lot of acoustic guitar music going on. There's not a lot of huge music in here, but it's usually a lot of live music, which single person on the guitar. One really cool thing Odyssey has is Unboxed, which is basically vending machines for anything you may need. Ibuprofen, Band-Aids, tampons, deodorant, things you may have actually forgotten. However, on port days, they are unavailable because these are still technically duty-free. So these will shut off during port hours. But it has all of the essentials you may need for your vacation. The photo gallery on board is identical to the ones found on its sister ships. Now on deck 5, there is this marble staircase that goes down onto deck 4, which is the main thoroughfare. The big red chair is a really good photo opportunity, but it also is a pain because it's right in the middle of the main walkway. Deck 5, just above, we have the schooner bar, and off the schooner bar there is also Chop's Grill, which is the steakhouse on board for your premium dining options. Another premium dining option, you have Wonderland, which is a really cool restaurant. I still have not gotten to eat here. However, I've heard good things about it, and the decorations are pretty cool, to say the least. Moving further back past the elevator shaft, we'll run into a familiar sculpture, which is actually the center of the dining room. Again, we can see Giovanni's off to the side, and you're able to look down into the dining room. Giovanni's is the Italian-style kitchen. They got rid of the wine bar on Odyssey and combined it with Giovanni's. On the way back, you have Next Cruise and the art gallery, and then you run into Cafe 270, which is a little eat spot for quick grab and go, pre-made stuff for snacks throughout the day. You also have the 270, which is a really cool venue. It has 6 different monitors that can dance around during the shows. And it's a really cool atmosphere to see outside of the aft of the ship. You can see we're at KOKK currently. But inside of 270, you also have different seating areas just to chill out during the day if you wanted to. This venue is not used as often, so this is a nice spot that you can actually come and relax and enjoy the views without having to deal with a bunch of running, screaming kids. However, sometimes there are events where kids are in here using it for different activities that the cruise line is putting on. So the boardroom is inside of 270 as well. It is basically a meeting area that you can rent out for your cruise. On the opposite side of 270, you have the library. Some newer ships don't have the library, however, Odyssey is one of those new ships that do have the library still. This is very modern look, and it still has the ability to come play cards, games, and just decompress. Making our way all the way up to deck 11, we have Adventure Ocean. Adventure Ocean is the kids club for different age groups from 6 months to 36 months for the paid nursery, you also have your different age groups that you can come. The workshop is where there are some kid-friendly events that are put on throughout your cruise. Adventure Ocean is split between deck 11 and 12. So there is also the general play area you can go into. That has access through deck 12 that we can see right here. One difference for the play area is that on Anthem it is 2 stories, and with Odyssey it was only 1. Now, deck 14, you can actually come to this glass staircase and see all the way down to deck 4. So if you have somebody who's afraid of heights, drag them over here and you can watch them freak out. Now, the Windjammer. The Windjammer is your classic place to come get a meal. Inside of Windjammer, you have the Coastal Kitchen, which is an additional charge. You also have teppanyaki, which is the hibachi restaurant. Again, this is additional. El Loco Fresh is one change from Odyssey to Anthem. El Loco Fresh replaces Johnny Rockets, which I think is honestly a great option because this is a free grab and go Mexican eatery. They have quesadillas, burritos, you can make tacos, but it is free all day long. Splashaway Bay has an actual water park compared to Anthem, which is just a little splash pad. There is still a place for the babies, but Splashaway Bay is one of those enhanced items on Odyssey on the Quantum Ultra class compared to the older Quantum class. The Lime and Coconut Bar is the classic pool bar. And you also have the North Star overlooking everything, which is still a really cool thing that you can actually go up over 300 feet above the water. These little cabanas are for rent throughout your cruise. They are, personally, I think they're ridiculously priced, but if you want to, go at it. Inside of the pool, you also have in-water loungers, which is really nice. A lot of times they were completely full, but when you get later on in the evening around dinner time, things start to calm down. They also have just regular chairs in the pool if you don't want to get your butt wet. Along with the hot tubs, they have one above the pool deck. You can see that on deck 15. That's overlooking the main pool. And then another change that they actually have the movie screen inside of this middle pool underneath of North Star, which is one of the things I really didn't like about Anthem, is that it was a lot of wasted space up there, and it really wasn't in a very good spot. So deck 14, forward, we have the Solarium Bistro, which is another place to eat that is complimentary on your cruise. This is more of a snack feel, but it does have some main course options if you don't feel like going to Windjammer. The quality and selection is similar to Windjammer though, so you're not going to get a whole lot of differences. Now, the Solarium on the Quantum class ships, I would say is my favorite that I have experienced on all of my Royal Caribbean cruises. However, I have not had the opportunity yet to experience Oasis or the Icon class, but I recently got off Adventure of the Seas, and I was not a fan because it's not enclosed. But the pools in the Solarium on Quantum class are multi-level. You have different hot tubs, but you also have a really cool thing. On either side of the Solarium, you have the bridge wings, which you can actually go out on top of the bridge and overlook the side of the ship. But you always get really good views from up here in the Solarium. Above the Solarium, you have the Vitality Spa, which is where you can get your expensive massages. Moving back on 15, we have the Sunset Suite deck. This is for suite guests only that overlook the middle pool, which has the view to the outdoor TV. These little hut thingies are really cool. They are free to use if you can find them. Good luck finding one on a busy day or on the sea day because you probably won't. The jogging track has identical feel to Any of the other quantum classes, I believe it is a quarter mile per lap. So around deck 15, the running track honestly feels it feels cramped with everything going on. So if you want to use it, make sure you use it early in the day before a lot of people get up there. Around the back of deck 15, around the C-Plex, you have a lot of outdoor games. You have soccer billiards, you have Twister, you have shuffleboard, and still some more seating areas to come and experience. Something really cool too is what used to be the virtual reality trampoline. It's actually empty now because the SkyPad was taken off of all Royal Caribbean ships after an accident. But still, it's being used for cornhole and other small events. There's some loungers in here. But it's just an iconic look to Odyssey to have that big yellow and red sphere over the side of the ship. There is a lounging sun area on the back of deck 15 next to SkyPad. However, it's not relaxing to say the least because you have Flow Rider right behind it. Inside of the C-Plex, we have Playmakers Bar and Grill, which is another change compared to Anthem. It is a perfect place for it given that you're at the sport deck. But C-Plex, you have bumper cars, volleyball, soccer, basketball. They set up pickleball, so you name it, they can do it. And you will find times throughout the day that they're doing everything. The arcade is split around all of the C-Plex. It's not in one condensed area like other ships. So that's kind of nice. There is seating areas within different parts of the arcade, as you can see here. So if mom and dad wanted to just kind of chill out and let their kids do their thing in the arcade, they can do that. But you have the classic arcade games in here, as well as foosball, table tennis. All of that is mixed inside of the C-Plex here. So Playmakers is an additional charge. It is not complimentary. However, it is a really cool feel, and it has some really cool oversized ship looks that you may not be able to experience on other sides of the ship. You can get to Social 180 from the C-Plex, which is the teen area only. So given that I am almost 30 years old, I cannot get up there. Something else really cool is that if you go up around the side of the SkyPad, there is a glass walkway that you can walk over the side of the ship. Looks right down to the water and the aft of the ship. On deck 16, you have the Flow Rider, which is the classic Royal Caribbean staple, as well as iFly. On the front of deck 16 is the place that not many people like to go on a cruise ship, which is the gym. However, you will always have your health nuts who like to be here. You will find me in the buffet or any of the different eateries around the ship. But this is a really big layout gym. They have the big area in the front where they can hold their classes. So it's still a nice layout. But overall, Odyssey of the Seas, I loved. My kids loved it. Again, the Windjammer, I think it's just going to be on every Royal Caribbean ship now. Compared to pre-COVID is not as great. I would suggest if you can, eating in the main dining room as much as you can. The food is better. Everything in the Windjammer repeats. But Odyssey definitely has a lot of things that I love. Not many things that I don't. It is still a ship that I would love to go on again if I have the chance. And if you are able or have a cruise coming up, then I would be all for trying to get on, get it booked, and then have that countdown on your phone. And if you need any help booking your cruise, go ahead and reach out at adventureawayvacations@gmail.com and we can help get your cruise booked. If you reach out to us, we can help you choose the right itinerary for you. Whether you live in Washington, Florida, or Texas, or even Kansas, somewhere not near a port, we can help you get your vacation package together, flights and all, and pay for it in one place. So remember, go ahead and reach out to us at adventureawayvacations@gmail.com or visit adventureawayvacations.com and see what different trips we have to offer, whether it's with Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, Virgin, it doesn't matter, we can do it all. So, until next time, travelers, have a great one.